How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from tonight, which is January 10th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Jay Lethal and Sonny Kiss versus Jaden Vallow and Chris Steeler. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Jay Lethal and Sonny Kiss went over because Jay Lethal pinned Jaden Vallow with the lethal injection. Match 2, it was Nyla Rose and Emi Sakura versus Tina San Antonio and Sky Blue. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Nyla Rose and Emi Sakura went over because Nyla Rose pinned Tina San Antonio with the Beast Bomb. Match 3, it was FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus Miles Hawkins and Pat Brink. That was a great match, but the ending to it, FTR went over because Dax Harwood pinned Miles Hawkins with the big rig from Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Match 4, it was Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet versus Notorious Mimi and Becca. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet went over because Layla Hirsch made Notorious Mimi tap out to the cross arm breaker. Match 5, it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ryan Clancy. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Powerhouse Hobbs went over with the torture rack. Match 6, it was QT Marshall versus Zach Clayton. That was a great match, but the ending to it, QT Marshall went over with a roll-up. Well, before the match, as Zach Clayton was in the ring, the Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, Nick Comoroto, and Anthony Ogogo, came out, and QT Marshall had a microphone and cut a promo talking about how Zach Clayton was on Jersey Shore and how JWoww and Snooki of Jersey Shore were in the crowd watching Zach Clayton for his match in AEW, and QT Marshall was talking about how he's going to beat Zach Clayton's ass, and once he gets done beating Zach Clayton's ass, he was going to let Aaron Solo show Jenny the meaning of wow, and as QT Marshall was talking shit about that, Zach Clayton punched QT Marshall in the face before the match started and everything. That was cool. Match 7, it was Andrade El Idolo versus Avery Good. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Andrade El Idolo went over with the La Morta. Match 8, it was The Acclaimed, which are Max Castor and Anthony Bowens, versus Joey Ace and Kevin Matthews. That was a great match, but the ending to it, The Acclaimed went over because Max Castor pinned Joey Ace with the mic drop. Well, before the match, as Joey Ace and Kevin Matthews were in the ring, The Acclaimed, which are Max Castor and Anthony Bowens, came out. Max Castor got on the microphone, and Max Castor done a rap on Joey Ace and Kevin Matthews, and then Anthony Bowens took the microphone and said his signature line, "Newark, New Jersey, The Acclaimed have arrived." That was cool. Match 9, it was Dante Martin versus Action Andretti. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Dante Martin went over with the double jump moonsault. And match 10, which was the main event, it was the Dark Order, which are John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and 10, versus the Hardy Family Office, which are Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, and The Blade. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Dark Order went over because John Silver pinned Isaiah Cassidy with the BDK from John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and 10. Well, before the match, as the Dark Order had their backs turned, the Hardy Family Office attacked the Dark Order before the match started and beat the shit out of them and everything, which that was cool. Now, there were no promos and segments throughout this episode of All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation. So, besides the matches, Tony Schiavone and Paul White done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. Mark Henry done commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Paul White during the matches of Jay Lethal and Sonny Kiss versus Jaden Vallow and Chris Steeler, Nyla Rose and Emi Sakura versus Tina San Antonio and Sky Blue, FTR versus Miles Hawkins and Pat Brink, and Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet versus Notorious Mimi and Becca. Mark Henry done awesome on commentary. And Eddie Kingston done commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Paul White during the matches of Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ryan Clancy, QT Marshall versus Zach Clayton, Andrade El Idolo versus Avery Good, The Acclaimed versus Joey Ace and Kevin Matthews, Dante Martin versus Action Andretti, and the Dark Order versus the Hardy Family Office. Eddie Kingston done awesome on commentary. And the referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Mike Posey refereed the match between Jay Lethal and Sonny Kiss versus Jaden Vallow and Chris Steeler. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Nyla Rose and Emi Sakura versus Tina San Antonio and Sky Blue. Paul Turner refereed the match between FTR versus Miles Hawkins and Pat Brink. Mike Posey refereed the match between Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet versus Notorious Mimi and Becca. Rick Knox refereed the match between Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ryan Clancy. Paul Turner refereed the match between QT Marshall versus Zach Clayton. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Andrade El Idolo versus Avery Good. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between The Acclaimed versus Joey Ace and Kevin Matthews. Rick Knox refereed the match between Dante Martin versus Action Andretti. And Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between the Dark Order versus the Hardy Family Office. All the referees done awesome as usual. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from tonight, which is January 10th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.